Okay, so I thought I'd briefly go through all my records at the moment. Not all of them, but the most interesting ones. First off, Strange Days by The Doors, incredible album, my favorite Doors album easily. This is in mono though, so I'm actually going to get rid of it because I'm not a big mono guy at all. 99% of the time I prefer stereo, but even for mono, this is a pretty crap mix in my opinion. Just lacks all the oomph. But this is awesome looking green vinyl by the incredible Love. Fantastic band. This album belongs in every rock fan's collection. Everybody's. Underappreciated as hell. Love are incredible. And this album is a really good sounding album, apparently, even on green vinyl. Yeah, I cannot praise that album enough. It is amazing. This is the Beanoy album, also green vinyl. Yeah, this is a brilliant album. Blues rock at its finest, just about. Yeah, superb. Also sounds really good. We got Wheels of Fire. Brilliant album. Dark Side of the Moon, the only album I feel is worthy of being dubbed a masterpiece out of every album I've ever heard. It's not even my favorite album, although it is certainly up there, but this is the only one I can safely call a masterpiece. It is the highest praise I can give something. Beatles for Sale, strangely the only gatefold Beatles album. I'm going to just take it out. The only gatefold Beatles album until Sgt. Pepper's, the first and only. And it's awesome. I love it. Not a lot of people's favourite Beatles album, of their early stuff, but for me, I love it. Da Capo by Love, I've long since said this would be my favourite album ever, tied with Sgt. Pepper's. If the second side, which only consists of one song, which is almost 20 minutes long, was as good as the first side, which is kind of a silly thing to say, but, it is just that good. It is sensational. Big improvement on their first. The Led Zeppelin cover album, I hate the people behind this album, but the music is extraordinary. I call it the Led Zeppelin cover album because most of these songs are uncredited covers, so you guys can get stuffed. Yeah. I really should just call it the rip-off album, but This Pouty Bastard, hate him. Anyway. Crappy album. Love it. Crappy people. Piper at the Gates of Dawn, mind-boggling. Of all the albums to come out in 67, including Pepper's, this is the one that stands out the most to my ears, and 67 was a huge year. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Catch Fire. I haven't just listened to one song off this album 400 years. I remember exactly what it was. When testing out headphones, I hadn't heard any Bob Marley before, not even the classics. I had no interest in reggae or anything. I just put it on to test new headphones for variety's sake and ended up thinking it was incredible. And this is now one of my favorite albums. It is easily my favorite Bob Marley album. Cannot praise it enough. We got ABBA. I bought all my ABBA albums for my mum. A lot of people don't like that album. I love it. Hard Day's Night, a lot of people's favorite early Beatles album. Not mine, but awesome. And also one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. Yeah, Animals is just amazing. Fresh Cream, easily my least favourite of the three proper studio Cream albums, but still good. Really terrible mix though. Pepper's, the 2017 remix, which I think is far superior to the original stereo. A lot of people disagree, but that's alright. It's my favourite album of all time. Everybody knows Pepper's. Can't go wrong with a bit of Pepper's in your life. Over the album, not a huge fan. I love it for what it is, but in terms of, in comparison to other ABBA albums, not my favourite. Jimi Hendrix Experience, one of the few I have in mono. Awesome cover, which I mostly bought it for, honestly. Yeah, extraordinary, and it sounds great in mono too. The Visitors, not a huge fan of it, but it's pretty good. Voulez-Vous is my favourite ABBA album, on the other hand. Rubber Soul, one of my favourite albums ever. I'm going to be saying that a lot because I mostly have my favourite albums on record. What can you say about Rubber Soul? That hasn't been said a billion times over. Past Masters, a collection of all their non-album singles. Oops. Yeah. Paranoid Android. Wrong band. Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Incredible album. Incredible sounding album. Mind-bogglingly good. And the cover's kind of mind-boggling as well. Let It Be, one of my least favourite Beatles albums, which is hardly a unique opinion. I used to enjoy it a lot more as a kid, but still great album. Digger Pony is underrated. Excuse me, I just burped on camera. It's disgusting. Love. If you know Love, you probably know this album and probably don't know any others. This is incredibly highly rated if you ever see it mentioned. And for good reason. It is fantastic. I don't think it's that much better than what Love had done once before and once after. So please listen to those because they are incredible too. Revolver, nothing is to be said about Revolver. Everybody knows Revolver. Abbey Road, this is not the 2019 remix. I prefer the original here. This is the 2009 stereo. Original mix. Wish You Were Here, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The Who Sell Out. The Who Sell Out, I mean, you know. Sorry, I'm sick. Yeah. The True concept album of 67. Waterloo, great album. Pet Sounds, which is like my top 3 favourite album. You know, my music taste is pretty generic, but whatever. Except it's in mono, and I know this is sacrilege. I do not care for mono that much. Even on this album, I way prefer the True stereo mix that was released decades later. That is the way I listen to it, so I'm actually going to refund that because I do not like mono. I'm sorry, I know it's heresy, but, you know, this is psychedelic glory. I mean, take one look at the cover and you can kind of guess that much. Very elaborate design, cover design too, as in, you know, 24 picture full color book. I think I said that wrong, but that's right. Incredible album. Blue Jay Way is underrated. Arrival, good album. The White Album, if you couldn't guess, it's white. It's also by the Beatles, and it's white. This is my second favourite album of all time. This is the 2018 remix, which I do generally prefer much more to the original. Unlike Abbey Road. Although Abbey Road's remix is pretty good, but I prefer the original on that. Help is one of my least favourite Beatles albums. I'm sorry, a lot of people really like this album. I think it was a big step up. I do not. I much prefer Beatles for Sale. I think the arrangements on it are pretty lackluster and uninteresting. But I mean, come on. By any comparison, this is a great album. So there's really no use complaining. ABBA, good album. Big step up for them. Great cover too. Awesome. Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath's debut. Top 5 album. I hate the upside down cross. I'm a Christian. So let's just fix that. And you may think it weird for a Christian to praise Black Sabbath so much, but hey, they were Catholics too, so you know. Anyway, just exceptional. Exceptional. I cannot praise this album enough. It is one of my all-time favourites. Got into them last year, or the year before, and one of the best decisions I ever made. Awesomely psychedelic cover. Just wow. Wow. Reminds me of all those, as a kid, you'd have books, you'd have to spot little things. That's what it reminds me of. You probably don't know what I'm on about, but anyway. The Doors debut, I don't like it as much as other people. I think the production's pretty lackluster too. But otherwise, again, no use complaining. It's a great album. With the Beatles, tied with Please Please Me as my favourite early Beatles album. Hey, look, I'm in the reflection. Yeah. Superb. Please Please Me, as I said, superb. Yellow Submarine, underappreciated. Yes, it's a Beatles album and it's underappreciated, and it's because it often gets dismissed and overlooked. Because of the second side is George Martin's soundtrack, which is really good in its own right, but I get it. You don't listen to a Beatles album for soundtrack material. Super Trooper, great album. Are You Experienced again? Are you experienced? Well, you should be. This is in stereo this time, and it has, unlike the mono, it has both the UK and US tracks combined, which is good because missing any one of these tracks would be sacrilege to me, because they're all just incredible, although the front cover sucks. So that's all my records for now. I'm planning on getting more. I really want some Funkadelic. A rarity I would like is Game, Dames and Guitar Things by Eddie Hazel, the guitarist of Funkadelic, which I don't have yet. Very rare to find. I wouldn't mind the Mono Piper. I definitely want to get the rest of Pink Floyd's albums, especially A Saucer Full of Secrets, which is my favourite Pink Floyd album. Yeah, anyway, that's all my records. Why do you care? You don't know me. I'm not a personality YouTuber. I'm barely not even a YouTuber, especially not anymore, but why not? This is mostly for me, actually, just to watch in the future. Anyway, thank you for watching me, future me, and bye.